Fellow Cab Mark here today with the 4 basic steps to keep your bike maintained and on the road. Those 4 steps are: get air in the tire, oil on the chain, check your brakes, and keep it clean. So I'm going to unpack each one of those one at a time. First, air in the tire. What you need to do is learn about your tires. Read the sidewall. This is a 700 by 35 wide, and it tells me that my minimum pressure is 50 and my maximum pressure is 85 psi, that's pounds per square inch. So everyone who has a bike needs to have a floor pump like this to keep your tires inflated, and you should inflate your tires a couple times a week, certainly a couple times a month. Find your valve on your tire, unscrew the cap. Notice this is a Schrader type valve. Just like your cars or motorcycles, this is a common spring-loaded Schrader valve. My pump is a Schrader pump. I'm going to use the pump head, put it over and press down, and that will compress the valve, lift the handle. That forces a collar around the valve stem and stops the air from leaking. Now I can pump from 50 to 85. Low pressure means comfort ride, but less efficiency. High pressure is a harder ride, greater efficiency. I'm going to go to about 65 and done. And then I'm going to do the same thing with the back wheel, back tire. Now you may run into a different kind of valve. This is a Presta valve for higher pressure tires and tubes. With this one, you're going to have to unscrew it. You should tap on it, make sure that it's mechanically working. And then you're going to need a pump that has an adjusting nozzle or head. This can go from Schrader to Presta. That's a nice pump to have. But if you don't have one of those, you can spend just a couple bucks on an adapter. This adapter will allow me to use my Schrader pump with a Presta valve. I'm going to screw it on firmly all the way. I know the valve is open. My adapter is on. And now I can use my Schrader pump on this Presta valve. All right? Now that I have air in the tires, I need oil on the chain. Now what kind of oil am I going to use? The best thing to do is not use WD-40. That's water displacement 40th recipe. It's just too thin of an oil. Tri-Flow is a good brand of chain oil. 3-in-1 household oil is thick enough. It can be used as well. Or this chain and cable lube is another good option for keeping the chain lubricated. What you're going to want to do is use a crayon or chalk. You can mark one of the links on the chain so you know where you started. And you're going to rotate the pedal while you lubricate each link slowly. Going all the way around until you're back at the link you started. Now I'm going to continue to rotate a few times just to work the oil into the moving parts of the chain. But I'm not done. I then need to remove the excess oil. What this is going to do is keep it cleaner, because an oily chain just attracts dust and dirt, and it makes the chain's lifespan much shorter. So clean the chain. I can also drop some oil onto the moving parts of my rear, and if I have it, a front derailleur. Also the pulleys. The axle on the pulleys could use oil. Always remembering to wipe off the excess to keep the dust and dirt away. Okay, at this point I have air in the tires, oil on the chain. I want to check the brakes. Easiest way to do that is to spin the wheel and apply the brake. While we're spinning the wheel, we want to make sure that the pad is not rubbing up against the rim, and that the wheel is true. In this case, both of those are happening. And then when we pull the lever, it should grab the wheel cleanly and quickly. Now, on the back tire, I notice that I have to squeeze the lever almost all the way into the grip before the brake happens. That's not good. And so I want to make a fine adjustment. I do that right here with this hand tightened and loosened barrel adjuster. First, there's a lock nut. I can loosen that. That allows me to then unscrew the barrel adjuster 2 or 3 times and then lock it back down with the lock nut. Now when I spin the wheel, I want to make sure the pads are not grabbing and the wheel is true. And then now when I pull the lever, it engages before the lever reaches the grip. This is better. At this point the brakes feel good. If I needed to make a gross adjustment, I could have done that here with an Allen wrench, loosening, pulling the cable through, and then tightening again. That's the way these V-brakes work. Now what's happening here is that the cable is getting stretched inside the cable housing, and so this barrel adjuster allows me to compensate for that over time. Eventually though, I will need to do a more gross adjustment, I call it. Alright, now the last thing we need to do is clean the bike. And you can just use warm water and dishwashing detergent, a liquid detergent, with a rag. Now, the idea here is to clean the bike of dust and grime and oil and dirt, but also inspect it. If you find a loose part, tighten it. If you find something broken, replace it. Loose things don't tighten themselves, they just get worse. So the mantra here is find a problem, fix the problem. Don't wait. Alright, so those are the 4 steps to keeping your bike well maintained and on the road. Air in the tire, oil on the chain. Check the brakes, keep it clean. Hope you enjoyed the video. Happy pedaling. Thank you.